You are good to go.
Thank you, Janet. Welcome, everyone. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited you're here. My name is Gillian, as you can see, and I directed the table read today for Mary Kate's script, Dead Man's Cove, which I'm excited about. It's hilarious. I laughed out loud when I was reading it, and I just keep wanting to say it's a hoot, and other people are calling it a hoot. And so I hope you also find it a hoot. And our cast today is excited. They're ready to go. I just want to welcome you to Dead Man's Cove. Get to know yourself, feel comfortable. You can be yourself here. So yeah, let's get into it. And Grace and actors, whenever you're ready, let's do it.
Exterior, the dock, day. With a half-smoked, desperately needing to be ashed cigarette hanging out of her mouth, Frances Smith, late 50s to early 60s, leans over the exposed foot of her sister, Carlene Ray, late 50s to early 60s as well. Carlene wiggles her toes and takes a long drink of the liquor in her hand, whereas Frances is pretty nonchalant about the fishing lure sticking out of her sister's foot. Carlene is in obvious pain.
Just get it out, Frances.
Okay, but there is a problem, sister.
What's that?
It's a lure. The hook is meant to break the skin and not pull back out. I'm going to have to pull it through, cut it, and then pull it out.
What's that mean?
You need to drink.
I was planning on doing that anyway.
Carlene takes another long gulp.
Well, I didn't say to drink all of it.
Faster. Frances snags the bottle from Carlene and drinks a few gulps before handing it back to her sister. She pulls her cheap neon pink sunglasses over her eyes before pushing the hook through the skin. Carlene, who was mid-drink, spits out some of the liquor, extinguishing the cigarette in Frances's mouth. Freeze frame. Super. Dead Man's Cove. Exterior. Dead Man's Cove. Day. Rich with beautiful, manicured, mature landscaping and oozing high-class lake life, this is the entrance of the neighborhood, Dead Man's Cove. It looks nothing like what either of the sisters should be living in. Exterior, the trailer, day. Now this is where the women live. The double-wide trailer has grass almost up to the second stair of the entryway. Trash cans are overflowing with unrecycled beer cans. Someone has planted fake flowers along the driveway in an effort to fit in with the rest of the neighborhood. However, they don't hide the car parked out front missing a tire. Interior of the trailer, day. The television's bunny ears are dangling off the side of the stand, the duct tape having worn off. The sound of static is all that is heard until a loud snoring begins. From her faded floral design chair, Frances is producing the snoring. Dressed in her familiar cut-off shorts and tank top, she has a cigarette in her mouth. On the couch is Carlene, who is dressed to the nines with her cut-off shorts, black pantyhose, makeup that would rival a drag queen, and almost empty beer bottle in her hand. Frances's cigarette drops from her mouth, adding yet another burn mark onto her chair as it begins to smoke against the fabric. Carlene focuses on the small circle of smoke. She pours some beer into her hand and flicks it in the direction of Frances to put out the smoke. It doesn't work, but she's too lazy and too competitive to stand up, so she keeps trying. This is how Patty Thomas, late 30s female, Frances's daughter, finds them as she enters the trailer. She's frazzled as she approaches, full of disapproval at the sisters. When she spots the smoke coming from the chair, she gasps loudly and rushes to the cigarette.
Damn it, Mama!
Frances jerks and snorts awake, and Carlene glares up at the woman who ruins all the fun.
Patty, you really have a knack for ruining things.
Dreaming about Cary Grant again?
No, Paul Newman.
Carlene whistles her approval.
Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, girls. Mama, you're gonna light yourself on fire if you don't stop this. How many times do I have to tell you?
As Patty continues speaking, Frances and Carlene mouth the speech they've heard 1,000,000 times.
You can't keep living like this. It's not right for women of your age to act like you do.
Patty walks right by the refrigerator.
Hey, Patty, while you're up,
No, I will not get you another beer, Aunt Carlene.
Carlene looks at Frances, offering her another cigarette.
you know, Francis, I don't know where the hell you went wrong.
But I'm pretty sure it was the lack of tequila I drank while pregnant.
I told you not to have children, but you never listen.
Damn that bitch Eve for punishing us with childbirth just for having fun.
I'll drink to that.
Realizing only once the beer is at her lips that it's empty, Carlene makes a face and gets up. She's stopped by Patty, who scolds her like a dog.
No, you will not get another one. Aren't you two forgetting something?
Carlene and Frances are clueless.
Here's a hint. You two never did this.
Something only one of us has done? I've never paid taxes on time.
I've never left the casino with more money than I came in.
Carlene glances at her empty beer can.
I've
Again.
never regretted not living in a dry county.
Frances and Carlene laugh together on this one.
Well, I've never had more than one child.
Carlene tosses her empty can at Frances, who bats it away with a laugh.
There you go, bragging again. And I've never slept with a celebrity.
At this, Frances makes a face at her sister.
What about...
There wasn't any sleeping being done that night.
Touche.
Patty clears her throat to get their attention. The sisters are not amused.
Francis, have you ever stood in someone else's living room only to judge them harshly?
Ooh, can't say that I have. Have you ever come over to someone else's house uninvited while being a rude guest by not getting a beloved family member her beer?
Patty rolls her eyes.
Mama, it's Faith's graduation.
At this,
Oh.
the sisters moan and protest like toddlers being told it's bedtime.
Why can't I just hand the girl a check and skip the crummy graduation? We all know she'd prefer that.
Exterior, the trailer, same time. Faith Thomas, 18, looks at the car in the driveway missing the tire, noticing a yellow notice. She starts reading it, raises her eyebrows, and glances across the street to where a large home sits.
Well played.
She takes the paper into the trailer. Interior, the trailer, same time. Faith enters the trailer to find her mother in the middle of an argument with Carlene and Frances.
No, after everything she's done for you two, I think you'd want to be there when she graduates high school.
She only came over here to get away from you.
Patty narrows her eyes in a glare that would rival Scarlett O'Hara.
Then she picked the perfect spot to go in, Carlene.
Faith grabs a pair of beers from the fridge, passes her mother, and hands them to the grateful sisters.
Bless you, child.
Hey, sweetheart.
I heard you yelling, so I figured I better come run interference. What's going on?
Patty is still flustered and tries to play it off to her daughter.
They were just getting ready when I came in.
Frances doesn't let the lie slide, so she levels with Faith.
Faith, baby, how upset would you be if we didn't go today?
Faith shrugs nonchalantly.
I wouldn't care.
Carlene and Frances look at Patty, tossing the proverbial ball into her court.
You would miss your own granddaughter's graduation.
Aunt Carlene, did you do something to your car?
What do you
Carlene
mean?
looks concerned.
She made.
A tire missing, and this was on your window.
Faith hands Carlene the yellow paper.
Oh, what the hell?
Too many parking tickets.
You weren't trying to pick up men at the grocery store again, were you?
Carlene doesn't pay them any attention. Instead, she reads over the note and becomes furious. Faith can barely contain her laughter.
That son of a bitch.
Handing Frances the letter, Carlene goes to her room and slams the door behind her. Frances skims over the letter and has the same reaction, dropping it and rushing to her room to get ready. Faith and Patty are left alone to watch them. Faith picks up the letter and laughs.
What is it, Faith?
It's from the HOA. Aunt Etta says the two have to clean up their lawn or face legal action.
Patty laughs and shrugs.
I guess they're gonna have to go to your graduation now.
Faith grabs a vintage magazine and sits on the couch. Exterior, high school football field, day. Faith stands in line to get her cap and gown. With her are her best friends, Nancy West and Harriet Marley.
Did you hear that Darcy got into Harvard?
No, but I heard he got herpes.
Either way, I won't be dealing with him this summer.
Bullshit.
You're going to be dealing with at least one part of him this summer.
Am not.
You're going to let Ivy win him for the last summer?
It's not winning if it's not a competition.
When did you talk to him last?
Last week, but we didn't exactly talk.
What?
Faith blushes and steps forward in the line.
It's not a big deal. Just one last fling before we ended things this year.
I guess it is tradition after all.
Harriet looks in another line to see Ivy Rogers, still in her outfit from cheerleading practice, glaring at them.
Does Ivy know?
Not unless Darcy told her.
Faith glances in another direction to see the handsome football star Darcy Jones looking at her. She smiles at him, and he smiles back. Just past him, Faith sees a disheveled man wandering on the outskirts of the football fence.
Son of a bitch.
Earl Thomas, late 40s, waves to his daughter. At first, Faith doesn't respond. It's only when the line moves again that she looks away. Exterior, high school football field, day. Patty, Frances, and Carlene walk into the stadium together. Frances and Carlene are dressed to kill, which is a little over the top for a high school graduation. They're stopped by best friends donning all things to let them know that they're fishermen, including a fishing hat and matching vests. Bob Harris, 50s to 60s, and Gus Warner, also 50s to 60s, are poised for pouncing on the women. While Patty sighs and politely excuses herself for the fireworks that are about to take place, Frances and Carlene prepare themselves with eye rolls and arms across their chests.
I'll meet you at the seats.
You're in the wrong place, sisters. The Sisters of Satan are meeting down the street.
Carlene and Frances don't laugh.
It's not a full moon yet, Gus. Not that you'd know. You can't even see the lures you leave all over our dock.
Once. We did that once.
And that's all it takes. I had to get a hook cut out of my sister's foot because of you two asshats.
Oh, don't try to tell us it costs you money to do that. I know damn well you got drunk and cut it out yourself. Have you ever heard of shoes? They work wonders when you're venturing outside of the trailer.
Carlene flicks Gus's ear, knocking his fishing lure hat off his head as he reacts. He scrambles to catch it.
There's no need to get violent.
Stop fishing our dock if you can't keep your shit on your boat.
Oh, you don't own the whole damn lake. Maybe somebody should remind you of that.
Carlene laughs.
Don't tempt us with a good time.
What are you going to do of it? Buy more of it? Your husband's life insurance policies are gone by now.
Frances smiles innocently. Her eyes, however, are lit with temptation.
Try us and see, Gus Gus.
Exterior. Football field seats. Same time. Patty is struggling to find seats when she sees Earl. Immediately, she turns into her mother.
What the hell do you think you're doing here?
I came to see my daughter graduate.
You're not invited.
Kind of like the rest of her life.
Don't put this on me.
Don't start, Patricia.
You better be gone before my mother shows up.
That old bat don't scare me.
Well, funny you say that. I'm sure I can find a bat around here somewhere.
Earl is not amused.
There's enough seats here for all of us.
Faith's family already has a spot saved.
Patty turns and walks away, trying to find seats. Exterior. Football field. Same time. The argument between Carlene, Frances, Gus, and Bob is interrupted when Sam and Etta Moore approach. Sam and Etta are slightly older than the sisters, as Sam is their big brother, while his wife Etta is the HOA president. Sam and Etta greet everyone politely, trying to keep appearances pleasant.
Gus and Bob, how the hell are you?
The fishermen straighten up immediately while the sisters grow colder.
We're fine, Sam. Just talking with your sisters. How's it going with Etta?
A fine day for graduation, Gus.
I'll see you two around the country club. Maybe we'll play golf sometime.
That's probably the only time Gus has ever cleaned a set of balls.
Not from what I heard from his army buddies.
Gus and Bob are about to start arguing again when Sam steps between them, turning his back on the fisherman. They give up and walk away.
You look lovely, little sisters.
Sam's charming smile is lost on his sisters.
And you're a piece of shit.
Sam sighs, his charm dissolving into annoyance.
What is it this time?
Frances produces the HOA letter from her bra.
You're gonna sue us for the car parked outside?
The car hasn't moved an inch in 3 months.
Shut your yammer, Etta. This is between us and our brother.
Etta narrows her eyes on Carlene.
If you remember, the letter comes from the HOA president. That'll be me.
The sisters turn their attention fully onto her now, and she doesn't back down.
I don't think you're prepared for the amount of fucks we give about your damn title.
I'll tell you now, the answer is none. We give none.
Which is probably the amount of money that's left on your husband's life insurance policies. So I doubt you can even afford a lawyer fees if you decide not to comply with the HOA.
If y'all need help fixing the car.
You'll do no such thing, Sam. They're big girls, remember?
Big enough to beat your ass.
You can take your HOA and shove it where outside your jurisdiction.
Not for long.
That's enough, ladies.
What does she mean, Sam?
It means your property is part of the HOA, and we're tired of the eyesore known as your trailer and belongings.
This is news to the sisters.
Your property was not part of the original development. Just because it wasn't ever fully developed doesn't mean you're not part of it.
We never paid any dues. How can we be part of it?
I've been paying them.
Now the sisters are seeing red.
Why didn't you tell us it was part of the HOA to begin with?
Because it was nice having you two closer. And I knew you wanted the property.
Now, we hoped you two would straighten up after you gotten over Robert and Albert's deaths, but we've reached a point where it's time for some tough love.
Faith, dressed in her graduation cap and gown, approaches the group.
Why do I always have to interrupt the fights?
Everyone backs down a fraction.
It's time to start. We're lining up.
This gets them moving to their seats. While they're moving away, Faith sees Earl and approaches him.
Earl?
Hey, kiddo. Thanks for inviting me.
I gotta admit, I'm shocked you didn't sell your ticket.
Do you think anyone would buy it? Come on.
Faith rolls her eyes.
Have you seen Mom?
Yeah.
So you know she doesn't know we've been hanging out.
Yeah, I figured that. But it's fine. I know I'm not welcome by them.
Faith smiles.
Well, I better go. It's almost time. See you later.
Oh, of course.
Faith's smile widens, and she walks to the football field with the rest of the graduates. Earl watches her leave, and then walks out of the football stadium to sell his ticket. Exterior. High school football seats, moments later. As the graduates mark across the stage, Frances and Carlene are seething as they stare at the backs of Sam and Etta just a few rows in front of them.
I'm gonna murder him.
I doubt that'll help the rumors about Roger's accident.
How are you so calm?
Beside them, Patty shushes the two. The sisters glare at her in return.
It's not like we can do anything. There's not much of the insurance money left.
You know, that doesn't mean we can't fight.
I don't know about you, but I'm not exactly in fighting shape these days. I doubt I could pull off a roundhouse kick like I could 20 years ago.
We need a plan.
You and I both know we are way too sober to come up with a plan.
Beside them, Patty leans closer.
Quit your yapping. Here comes Faith.
Everyone quiets and focuses on the stage. Exterior. High school football field, continuous. Faith is waiting on the side of the stage with her classmates. Faith, Lynn, Thomas. Faith smiles and walks onto the stage. Exterior, high school football seats, continuous. The trio stand and cheer as Faith receives her diploma.
We need to make a stop before the house.
You think a case will do it?
I'm thinking maybe a case of Bud, a case of Natty, then add our favorite man, and maybe throw in some moonshine in there too.
Carlene nods in agreement.
I reckon we're taking the long way home.
But I doubt I could get Patty to take us.
The sisters are quiet for a beat, then lock their eyes on Faith as she waves from the football field. The two smile and wave back. They've found their ride. Interior, liquor store, evening. Faith, Carlene, and Frances walk the aisles together.
Oh, you've got 3 cases of beer and enough liquor to throw a kick-ass party. What's the occasion?
Oh, you know, plotting and scheming.
This have anything to do with Aunt Etta's notice?
I still say Sam's the product of an affair.
Maybe.
Frances studies Faith, knowing the comment struck a nerve.
What's eating you, Faith?
Did Mama mention Earl?
This is a liquor store.
Yeah, Happy Thoughts only in the happiest place on earth.
Or at least on this side of town.
I invited him today. He was there.
Why in the name of the sacred sisterhood would you invite that sperm donor?
Because he's still my dad.
And you're the only good thing he ever did.
His wife left him, took the kids too.
Do not go down this road, Faith.
I just want to know him.
What? Do yourself a favor. Get a dog. It'll last longer.
Didn't we have the agreement that we don't judge each other?
It's not you we're judging.
Faith goes quiet as they go to the checkout lane. Exterior, the trailer, night. Frances and Carlene get out of Faith's car and gather their booze. Frances leaves a case of beer in the passenger floorboard.
That's your graduation present from us.
Thanks, Glamour.
The sisters carry their booze inside the trailer, loaded down like pack mules. Exterior, the sisters dock later. The only light on the lake is coming from a car with only one working headlight, behind the sisters as they poise themselves on tailgate chairs. Cans littering the dock signal they've gone through the beer and are working on their second handle of liquor. Carlene hands Frances a bottle of liquor, swaying slightly as she does.
You know what I miss?
Your sense of style?
That time the boys wanted to start that plane touring business.
Frances takes a long gulp of her bottle.
Yeah. They had some stupid ideas. Probably why they wound up dead at 47.
You remember what they did to get the money for that beat-up seaplane?
Frances squints, barely able to see straight as she recalls.
They wanted to go to the sperm bank.
The sisters share a look and then burst out laughing.
I don't think they thought about how below the standard they were.
They probably saw their children and denied them on the spot.
The two are laughing so hard they can barely breathe.
If they could even get it up to perform the task at hand.
No, I can tell you that Roger didn't have any use for his hands. He was more of a mouth guy.
Dear, what would Mother say about that?
Oh,
They clink their bottles together and cheers.
she would be proud, I'm sure.
They didn't lift a finger, but God, they sure could lift other things.
There's a pause now as they sit remembering their late husbands.
I miss Roger the most at night. He used to hold me. I'd lay my head on his shoulder and we'd talk and make each other laugh until we got quiet. And when I was just about to drift off, I'd roll over on my side of the bed.
Frances drinks, a somber silence coming from her that spreads to her sister.
I miss arguing with Albert. He was the one person in the world who could make me want to pull my hair out 1 second, and in the next, be laughing so hard I'd cry. Only for a minute later, to want him so bad, I thought I'd die.
Do you remember the first date?
Carlene smiles.
He asked me to the movies. I found you right as Roger was asking you.
Who'd have thought we'd wind up marrying best friends?
They clink their drinks together and cheers.
You remember the first time they asked us out?
Francis laughs.
Lord, help me. I think we were 7 or something.
And then it just became a tradition that they'd ask us out.
God. Oh, what was your favorite time we told them no?
I'm not sure. There were so many.
Oh, we were so mean to them.
They were gluttons for punishment.
You know, they never gave up on what they wanted.
Glancing around, Frances gets up, swaying and nearly falling into the lake. She is steadied by Carlene.
You looking to bathe in that lake, sister?
No, but I have an idea.
Frances pulls up her bottle for a toast. Carlene slowly and unsteadily rises to meet her. Their bottles clink together messily.
I don't even need the details. I'm in.
Interior. Etta and Sam's house. The next morning. Etta is dressed in her silk robe as she makes herself a pot of coffee. Quietly reading the newspaper in her high-end kitchen, she glances outside to see her view of the lake. But she does a double take. Her $1 million view is obstructed.
What in the grace of heaven?
She drops everything and takes off. Exterior. Sam and Etta's house, continuous. Etta opens her front door to see that her yard is a total wreck. There is toilet paper everywhere, and her garden has been trashed, with an old toilet beside her bird bath. Exterior, the trailer, continuous. Across the street, Carlene and Frances are stepping out of their trailer. The sisters grin as they watch Etta's face.
Wow. Etta, you better get all that cleaned up or you'll face a fine from the HOA.
Is the toilet a new way of distributing fertilizer?
It'll help my daisies.
Carly picks up a planted fake daisy.
Oh, it might stain them, Carlene.
Carlene nods with a shrug and puts it back into the ground, halfway covering it with her foot. Exterior. Etta and Sam's house, continuous. Etta is livid.
Damn, come see what your trailer trash sisters have done now.
In near tears, Etta kneels among the trash, crawling to her favorite flowers to inspect them. Exterior, the trailer, continuous. Carlene holds a 6-pack of beer in her hand.
Now remember, Etta, just because you're HOA president doesn't make you above the covenants.
And now you know just how few shits we give about your HOA.
Now y'all enjoy your Saturday. We'll be down at the dock if you need anything.
But at the same time, stay off our property.
Carlene, Frances, and their beer head to the dock. Exterior. Sam and Etta's house, continuous. Etta is joined by Sam.
Look what they've done. My flowers, my plants, my trees.
Etta cradles her plants like children as she cries. Exterior. Gas station. Day. As Faith finishes putting gas into her car, she spots Earl with a pill bottle coming from behind the gas station. With a sigh, she heads in his direction.
What are you doing?
Earl quickly hides the bottle in his pocket.
What do you mean?
This is a popular place for dealers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Earl, I'm not a little kid anymore. What is it?
It's nothing. I promise, Faith.
Unsatisfied with his answer, Faith rounds the corner to see 2 dealers. Earl follows.
What'd he buy?
You looking to score?
Shut it, Desi. What'd he buy?
Percocet bottle.
Faith turns on Earl, doesn't say anything to him, and walks away. Earl follows her.
Faith, Look, it's not the end of the world.
Wrong, Earl. I have a scholarship to go to school for free. Just being around a junkie puts that in jeopardy.
Wow, your mama must be proud.
At least she was straight enough to be around.
Before she can leave, Earl takes her by the hand.
Look, I'm trying, Faith. But please know that I'm trying.
Try harder, Dad.
Faith jerks her hand away from him and walks to her car. Earl watches like he's been punched in the gut. As she drives away, he opens the pills and takes some.
Oh, man. Gotta take this.
Interior. Faith's car, continuous. Faith is fighting off tears when she punches a number into her phone.
Darcy, you busy? I need some stress relief. Yeah, just like last time. I'll meet you there in 15 minutes.
Hanging up, Faith looks in her console to find a box of condoms and tosses them into the seat beside her. Exterior, the sisters' dock later. Frances and Carleen are drinking beer off their dock when Bob and Gus come by on their boat. As the boat veers in their direction, it doesn't slow. The two pairs yell at one another over the boat's engine.
Just keep going, boys.
You don't want anything to do with this dock.
I caught a whopper of a bass there last week. You two ain't stopping me. Yeah, go take your crazy back to the trailer.
The sisters smile at one another. The boat's engine starts to make a noise. Something is wrong.
What the hell? You're sucking up lines, Bob. Slow down.
The boat comes to an abrupt halt. Bob and Gus go to the engine to see what's going on. A large tree comes up from the depths.
Oh, that ain't just lines, Gus.
We decided to make our dock a bit more hospitable for fish. Turns out they like a bit of structure.
And we just so happened to get our hands on some fancy garden trees last night.
As Bob and Gus begin working on the engine, the sisters grab their fishing poles and toss their lures into the boat, snagging a chair and a rod's line.
Oh, you got something, Carleen.
Carleen begins to reel her lure in and yanks. It breaks off part of the rod.
Damn it, I lost it.
This catches Bob's attention.
Hey, stop that. What are you doing?
We're fishing. If you don't like it, get off the lake.
Oh, I'm warning you.
Oh, threatening women now, Bob?
The sisters continue to cast their lures into the boat, hooking whatever they can. Finally, after arguing for a moment, Bob and Gus put their boat into gear and slowly make their way away from the dock.
Crazy wins again.
It usually does in Dead Man's Cove.
When the boat engine starts to smoke, the sisters clink their beer bottles together in a satisfied victory. Fade out.
Janet, I don't know if you're coming on, but I'll just jump in and say thank you to everybody. Thank you guys. That was so